Hey there everyone, I'm Patrick Ferguson from Skull Splitter Dice here with a quick video today. We have technically talked about the Arcane Trickster in our Rogue video, but we felt it was best to make a separate video for it so that you don't have to dig through that whole thing just to find that one section that you're looking for. Now with that out of the way, let's get right into it. The Arcane Trickster is a character type that's been around in D&D for quite some time, and it's essentially a great mix of rogue and wizard that works together about as well as you would want it to. The 5e Arcane Trickster is an incredibly easy take on the concept that is built into the rogue class as an archetype. There's no multiclassing required. If you like the idea of being able to stealthily cast spells while also picking pockets, well, today's episode is specifically made for you. As a mix of rogue and wizard, your two most important stats are going to be dexterity and intelligence. You'll usually want to make dexterity your highest stat and intelligence a close second. After those, prioritize charisma if you want to keep doing the duty of the party face, or constitution if you want to be a bit more survivable in combat. This is completely dependent on what type of rogue you're hoping to build in the first place. Wisdom and strength aren't likely to be important to you, unless you're doing an extremely strange build or multi-class kind of thing. Seeing as dexterity and intelligence are both your most important stats, the best races to use are ones that give you a bonus to both. For an optimized Arcane Trickster, play a High Elf, an Eladrin, Forest Gnome, Deep Gnome, or Feral Tiefling. Beyond keeping intelligence in mind, you really don't need to do much else to optimize an Arcane Trickster. The build options are going to come down to what spells you pick and how you want to play your Trickster in the end. The big difference between an Arcane Trickster and most other rogues is your spellcasting, and there's a bunch of wizard spells that can be incredibly useful to a rogue's playstyle. Oddly enough, one of the best reasons to be an Arcane Trickster is a cantrip you can receive automatically when you select the archetype. Mage Hand. Mage Hand is incredibly useful on its own, but you also get the class feature Mage Hand Ledgerdomain at 3rd level. This powers up your Mage Hand beyond what other casters are capable of. You can slip a bomb into someone's pocket, you can open a suspicious door from a distance. I can't tell you how amazing it feels to unlock a trapped chest safely from 30 feet away. And I'm sure my players share a very similar sentiment. Beyond the insidious goodness of your powered-up Mage Hand, I advise using one of the two general Arcane Trickster builds, either the Stealth Utility or the Magic DPS build. Starting with Stealth Utility, a lot of sneaking scenarios could be solved if just the guards looked away for only a moment, or a bit of information got to the right person at just the right time. If you want to solve this problem, try taking the message and minor illusion cantrips to start with. They're simple ways to get out of a lot of very sticky situations. You can really rely on your sneak attack as your damage dealer and just pick and choose utility spells like Disguise Self, Knock, Fly, and Invisibility. Think of yourself as a problem solver, and you can bypass a lot of threats before they even know you're there. And moving on to the Magic DPS build, rogues are already excellent damage dealers, and adding a few spells can increase that rate in a rather sneaky fashion. You sadly can't add your sneak attack damage to spells, but there are ways you can add spells to your sneak attack. The Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide gave us a couple of wizard cantrips that you can cast as part of an attack. I recommend grabbing Greenfire Blade and Booming Blade. Their big limitation is the use of an action, but as sneak attack can only trigger once a turn anyway, and it can trigger off the attack made as part of these spells. You essentially get to stack their damage together. Once you get up to 2nd level spells, things get really crazy. Xanathar's Guide to Everything gave us the gorgeous spell Shadow Blade. It's a concentration spell that creates a magical shadowy blade you can make melee weapon attacks with. And beyond how cool that sounds, and indeed is, it's also a light finesse and thrown weapon that deals a base 2d8 psychic damage. So let's count this out. Assuming a 7th level Arcane Trickster with, let's say, 16 in both dexterity and wisdom. Conjure a Shadow Blade, maneuver yourself to get into a sneak attack position, and then use Greenfire Blade whenever you attack with it. The Shadow Blade deals 2d8 plus 3 psychic damage. Greenfire Blade deals 1d8 fire damage and 1d8 plus 3 fire damage to the guy standing next to them. And you deal 4d6 sneak attack damage. That's 3d8 plus 4d6 plus 3 damage and 1d8 plus 3 to the other guy every turn. Now, go forth and try not to use your magical stabbing power for too much evil if you can avoid it. Or don't. You really don't have to. You can do whatever you want. That's kind of the appeal of D&D, really. I've had a couple of Arcane Tricksters make their way onto my table, and they provide something I think you can only find in mashup character types like this, such as an Artificer, for example. Being a character that has more gameplay versatility usually leads to more interesting role-playing opportunities as well, which is why I am oh so fond of the ones I've gotten to meet along the way. Modon, Shifty, I hope you're both fine wherever you're at. I'm glad you two characters didn't die, which is kind of rare in my campaigns. Thank you guys so much for watching this quickie. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe because we put out new content like this every week. And if you're building an Arcane Trickster that you're proud of, please tell me all about it in the comments. I absolutely enjoy reading about your guys' characters. Also, be sure to tell us if there's anything else you'd like us to cover here on the show. We would be happy to hear any ideas that you guys have. Thanks again for watching. My name's Patrick Ferguson from Skull Splitter Dice, and until next time, farewell.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss out.